people are becoming fed up. They becoming mentally drained because they starting to realize that they moving backwards, it seems like, because due to the cost of living and inflation, they starting to realize why their checks is not going up. Whatever they doing, it's just not enough. Because with the way that things are going on in this life, the cost of living, groceries, inflation, they starting to realize that it doesn't even really matter because their money is not valued like it's supposed to be valued anymore. And they tired of just surviving just to get by. They've been doing this for so long, they don't even remember when they had a good day or a good time. Because they've been stuck on survival mode for so long, they starting to just give up. Because it feels like they not getting nowhere. It feels like they just going backwards. And they're supposed to be moving forward with their life. It's like they got a time machine that they never really wished for. And not a good time machine that they wanted. Because you know how some people, they want a time machine where they can go back in time to go back to the good times. This is like they giving us a time machine by default. It's like we going backwards, but we supposed to be going forward. And the reason why it just doesn't make sense is because your pay is not going up. And you going to sleep and you doing the same thing every day over and over. And you starting to wonder, is this what life is really about? Because when is it going to get to the good part? So you start to live your life like you don't think it's nothing good that can ever happen. And I know it's crazy to think like that, but it's the way your life is set up. It's why you're thinking like that, because you feel like it's all a scam. You feel like this 9 to 5 thing is just a scam because you've been working for so long. And then when you go to work, you do your job. There's always somebody hating on you at your job. And you just can't get it together because it's like you're working in a hostile environment and you want some progress in your life, but you don't seem to be getting any progress because your future, it doesn't seem certain because you've been doing the same thing over and over. And you've been trying to expect different results. But you're starting to realize that it's insanity. Because how did your life ever get to this? You was just doing what you was told. But it's not working. So now you're starting to feel like you're just going backwards, man. And a lot of us been feeling like this for a long time because we had goals, we had passions in our life, and our passion is just gone. And we're trying to figure it out, like, where did the passion go? But we really knew where it went. We just don't want to admit it. Your job took away your passion because you don't know what to believe no more. And grocery prices are still rising. And then due to the government being shut down, you got to really be careful now because people out here, they hungry. So you got to watch your back. And it's sad because this is a crazy world that we living in because people don't know how to stick together. Everybody all out for themselves. So that's another reason why you just really got to watch your back because you really can't trust people. And your friends and family, they ain't even the same no more. So now it's like, as you get older, you start to realize that you'll be better off alone. You don't need no friends. And you start to realize that you'd rather have peace than a fake friendship. So that's why it's like time is moving by fast, but it seems like you stuck at a standstill. And I know that feeling because you've been working for 5-10 years, probably more than that. And a lot of people, they've been working for somebody else. They don't even know who they are anymore. They lost. They're not living in their purpose no more. They gave up. It's like they giving up hope because reality, it seems like reality took them down and put them in a place. And they don't know how to get out this place. They've been stuck for so long because they've been overwhelmed and burnt out. They can't even think no more. because it was designed to just keep you down. So it's like, you want to get you a new house, you can't afford it. You want to get you a new car, you can't afford it. So now you're starting to feel like you're worthless, you're useless. And I get it, because you thought that it would be better. But when you look around you, you start to realize it's terrifying. It's not getting no better. And I know a lot of us, we like to say, the job is not paying enough. They're really not. But a lot of us, we get comfortable because we don't know nothing else. And we just get comfortable by default. And you can't blame nobody. You know, we just played the hand we was dealt. What can we do? And I know we want to change, but it's hard to change when you keep being around negativity and seeing the same thing. It's hard because you mentally drained. That's why it's hard to change, because you mentally drained. And this cost of living is getting outrageous. Gas prices going up. Food is going up. And then it's like, it's not making sense. It's like you doing the right thing, you doing what you was told, but your life is just going backwards. So you feel like you taking 100 steps back each and every time you get paid, because you living from paycheck to paycheck. It's like you want to take 5 steps ahead, but you take 1,000 steps back. I get it. And the reason why you feel like you take 1,000 steps back is because you got so much debt that you got to pay off. I'm going to just keep it real. A lot of people are in debt. And then it's like, to be honest, that debt be in the back of your mind, like, when I'm going to get done with this debt. That's the only reason why you probably still at your job, because you got all this debt. So it's a never-ending cycle. And let's just be real. Even if you pay off your debt, you don't be debt-free for too long. And that's the terrifying part, because you was taught that you'll be able to accomplish your goals and live the American dream. But this dream is starting to become a nightmare for you, because the dream is dead. With so much that's going on in the world, even if you wanted to escape, how could you? You want to put your mind somewhere else, but you got so much going on in your life right now, your mind is just so congested. Everybody always calling you for a favor, and everybody is always complicating your life, making their problems your problems. So it's like, you just drain. And it's okay, because you're human. And that's why you feel like you're just going backwards. Because you're feeling like, this can't be right. Something is off. You're starting to realize that it was all a lie. And you're trying to figure out, like, how can you be better? Because life is life right now. Something is always stopping your show, whatever you want to do. You can't even have time to yourself no more, because you got so much problems going on in your life. And it's just knocking you down. And you try to keep a good spirit, but that's what you struggle with. Because you've been struggling your whole life. You've been struggling with your childhood trauma. You've been struggling with people telling you couldn't do it. And now you're starting to feel like maybe you can't do it. Maybe they're right. But in reality, I don't think they're right. It's just people are just going backwards. They starting to feel like they doing all this hard work, working overtime, and they still not making a living the way they want to make a living. And I know it's terrifying, because, and let's just keep it real, You can't really base your money based off overtime. If you gotta base what you make off overtime, what you're really making, you're really not making that much money. Because a lot of people base their salaries or their job paychecks just in general off overtime. So you gotta base your money just off straight pay and do it that way. Because that's the first thing they're gonna do is cut your overtime. And then just think about the people who've been working 15 plus years. And then if they get laid off after 15 plus years, they're going to start thinking like they wasted all this time because they've been going backwards. And due to inflation, you've definitely been going backwards financially. It's like putting yourself in a situation like you're trying to show off your talents to the talent scouts, and the talent scouts never show up. So you starting to feel like you're going backwards and you're doing nothing for nothing. So that's why your life is so stagnant right now. And it feels like you walking and you're not even going nowhere. You walking in the same place because you got to wait 2 weeks to get paid, and you living from paycheck to paycheck. And then it's like you waiting 2 weeks just to be broke in the next 2 days. So that's why people are feeling like they're moving backwards. I get it, because they really are. They in a time machine by default, not the time machine that people want. It's a time machine that society and the world has given to you. So it's like, that's why you frustrated. And I know you frustrated because you're human. What else is you supposed to do? This is the hand you was dealt. So you got to run with it. Because time does seem like it's going by faster. People are still taking 1,000 steps back. And the reason that they're taking 1,000 steps back and they can't get ahead is because of the cost of living. A lot of people start believing that it's their fault. So they stop living in purpose, doing what they're supposed to do. Stop being goal-oriented. Because the way that they living, it's got them beat. Cost of living is destroying them. And when something is draining you mentally and your mind ain't in it, that's a terrible thing, because everything starts with your mind. So if your mind is not in it and your mind is gone, it's going to be hard for you to come back. And some people's mind has been gone a long time ago. And I understand it. But it's not normal because nothing makes sense. You try to make sense out of it, but it's just going to drive you crazy even more. So you start to feel like, why bother? So I get it. I understand where you're coming from, because I feel that way too. So that's why you've been moving backwards, because you've been struggling. And everything is just getting expensive now. It's just ridiculous. Because you don't make enough. You can't even drive that car you want because you don't make enough. But the company that you dedicated your heart and soul to don't even want to give you a raise. And that's the sad part, because you might get a raise of 25 cents every 5 years. And I know that you're going to be like, what you going to do with that? They're going to start to think you feel like you're entitled. But you're really not entitled, because, so what if you do a good job and they still don't want to give you no raises? And that's the sad part, because you do a good job and you value your work. So if you value your work, you deserve to get a raise. But the company going to be like, nope, it's not good for business. So in reality, it's like, if it's not good for business, and I'm still stuck in the same predicament Why am I not thinking about business? Why is it only good for you to think about business, but it's not good for me to think about business on my personal matter? And that's where a lot of us, we don't think about, because we've been comfortable for so long. And we've been comfortable moving backwards this whole time. And that's how I feel, because it's just not right.